My name is Zane Cruz. I'm currently going to be a sophomore at Spanish Fork High School. My native tribe is Wallapai. We're from down in Arizona. And I've been part of Camp Eagle and Title VI in general for a long time. I remember being in preschool and doing the preschool class during Camp Eagle summer school. So the last time we did the TP, I was a little kid, and so I was just watching all the older kids set up. But now it's fun because I'm actually out there, I'm setting it up, I'm helping, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So everything we do is clockwise, from dancing in powwows to drumming to just almost 90% of the things we do, it's just clockwise. I think that maybe people should come and learn just because, although it is everyone's land now, we all live here, we're happy. It was ours, and so it's kind of just to know the importance of the history behind stuff. I want my kids to know what I've learned, where their ancestors come from, and what they did and how they lived. I'd like my kids to dance. Obviously, I dance, and so seeing them dance and me dancing, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. So it's just something I kind of want to keep going because people, as soon as people start to forget, it kind of just fades, and I don't think this is something that should be faded. I think this is something that should stay very much here, and that the new generations keep learning and knowing more about.
I've been with the Utah Arts Council for several years as an artist, and I love to come and work with Native kids in the school district. This is one of the only places they come to get cultural interaction and talk about what's happening in the Native world and their part in the world that way. So it's fun for me to bring back a lot of the old traditional arts, some of the old traditional activities that they didn't get a chance to participate in, like for example the teepee and how the teepee helped our ancestors. Many tribes used wickiups. The tribes here in Utah, of course, is the Ute, the Paiutes, and the Goshutes, and the Shoshone. When they went out on different trips, they would do these day wickiups, and it started out with three poles, just like the teepee pole, a tripod. And then they would add brush to it. They didn't go down and cut trees or cut poles. They used what was existing out there in nature. And when they were done with it, they just spread the pieces back out and left them like they weren't even there. These are little kids that did these wickiups, kindergarten through first and second grade. So there were an assortment. They all had their own different personalities. So we talked about symbolism. The topper portion of the teepee usually resembles what's in the heavens: moon, stars, lightning, anything that's up in the heavens. And here is the family symbols, family creed. There in the middle. The bottom are things of the earth. And this represented the days and the months. And, I guess the biggest thing that I love is being able to connect those children to their ancestors. And so once they connect to their ancestors, they know where they've been, and we talk about how are you going to integrate all of that into your life now. And hopefully this will help give them strength so they can move forward with that identity and be successful anywhere they go in life. I'm a social worker, and I come from that line of thought. But it's been a pleasure and a privilege to impart some of these old traditions to these kids.
It's fun to come in here. We do a lot of fun stuff. And we play some Indian games, like hockey, soccer, like other kind of Indian games. And when you hit the drum, the gods will hear it. I feel like I was alive 1,000 years ago. Feels like we're like a baby again. When I was young, I was dancing hard like my grandfather. I want to be him someday. He teach me how to drum and fancy. It told me too much. He told me too much how about the Indians were 1,000 years were dancing. Or the Indians were at war for the other Indian tribes, and they're trying to make peace. And when they're trying to make peace, they had a war. When the war ended, they're making them dance, and the other Indians, they were scared by the dancers. And they come up with a new plan. Make it like there is no scary stuff.
What do you hope to be able to do with your dancing and drumming? Do you hope to be a teacher someday?
Yeah,
do you
teacher.
Hope to, tell me what you hope to do.
Like I teach people about fancy and plants and medicine they make out of plants. Rock art, baskets, and some like fry bread, and like making some medicine, and teach how to make a fish out of clay, and tell people about the life 1,000 years ago.
My name is Mackenzie Hubbard, and I am from the Shoshone tribe, and I've been in Title VII Indian education for about 2 years. My dad is where I got my Native American genes from. His mom lost her heritage because she just never got to be doing what I did. And when we got to come here, it was just a lot more fun, and I got to learn a lot more things, like our culture and what we lived in back then. And then we also learned about how important water is, how sacred it is. And then we've been learning about beading and how they use that in powwows. And then in PE, we learned how to, what kind of games they would play and what activities and how they would get so strong. When I learned how to bead, it was kind of oh, I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought I could learn from the older kids, but they didn't know either, and so I had to learn from my teacher, Shoshana. And so it was we had to bond with the other students to try to help them, and some were good at this thing and some were good at the other things, and so we all kind of worked as a team. And then once we got started into it, it was kind of hard. We've had to count how many beads we had to put on, how many to go through, how many to cut off, so just adding and subtraction was mostly it, but also we had to figure out go ahead of it so that you know how much you'll need in total. And then once we kept going over the layers and layers of it, it got way easier. And so after 3 weeks, we've been finishing our projects. The inspiration to this project is for my regalia, for my fancy shawl, women's dancing, because these are my colors. My symbol is desert rose, so I wanted to add the red in there. And then I wanted some imperfect things there because I'm not perfect. So I added the blue in the middle, and then the blue is for Navy and war. And then the white is just for cleanness, trying to be more fancy and all that. So that was the reason why I chose these colors, and I am very happy with my end product, and it's really fun to make. Seeing everyone's different designs just told me inside that everyone's different and they have their own inspiration. I was kind of really amazed by what they were making and how they just came up with that creatively. It's just important to take care of your culture and to symbolize how important it is to them and our ancestors, and so you want to keep this culture and this tradition alive, so you have to symbolize it into different things.